Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome, everyone, to Texas Songwriters Alliance Audio Impact on Lone Star Community Radio. I am your host, Alex Lozano, and before we get started with our very special musical guest, the all-veteran band, Vetted. They're very, very good. I've got Slade and Paul, the drummer, Slade on guitar. We've got shows we're going to go through and a few shout-outs and some thank yous for this past weekend and just kind of and then before we get started with the show. So let's go ahead and get with that. Big shout out to my friends Chuckster, Charles Brown, G. Wayne, Greg Steedman, and Jason Burrell from Burrell Records. That is with a Z. I got you, Burrell. I'm putting on my very first rap hip hop showcase June the 28th and 27th to 28th at a brand new place. For me, it's brand new. It's called Iron Horse Rock Bar, and it's right next to Scout Bar. And I don't know if they're real happy about that. I thought there'd be some kind of community, but who knows? You know how venues are and stuff. But I'm doing the first ever Texas Songwriters Alliance Rap That Rocks, the 27th to 28th. I want to say a big shout out to the owner, Wayne Paul. He's doing a great job there. He's bringing in all kinds of different music, not just rap and hip hop, but rock and alternative. And big shout out to Jay Reckless and Reckless Talk. He has the #1 syndicated rap and hip hop podcast in Houston. He just won Podcaster of the Year last year for the Houston local Houston Music Awards. Also, we have up here. My bad. Oh, Mike and Gretchen over at 403 Eats. For taking care of me. Have y'all been to that venue? It's an amazing place in Tomball.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just really, really great place. Big monster stage. Want to say a big shout out to Queenie Bees. Her food truck was absolutely the best jambalaya that I had. We have our shows that we're going to get to right now, and I want to start off with Friday at the Poop Deck on the Seawall. Legendary, and he still holds the most for 2,300 views for the show. The one and only Joe Kane Band from Mystic Cross. I know you know these guys, and he's been a good friend of mine and been in the scene for a long time. We also have at the Back Pew Brewery in Porter, Texas. I don't know if you've seen the band, the tribute band, Moving Pictures, but they are dead on to Rush. Have you seen that tribute?
No, I've heard of them before, though.
Well, next level. Just he's got it down. They're going to be there this Friday over at the Pew. So be sure to check out Brad Risming and his guys there. They got Rush down to a science. Hold on, my bad, right here. Halfway to Halloween over at Head Trip, Texas. We have Hen Horse, Strangler, Tracy and the Phantom Punks, and Zombilly. They're a punk band I worked with for a long time ago. For your blues fix for Friday, we got Sparky Parker over at Green Oaks Tavern.
I love Sparky.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I've only met him
before.
I've only met him once time, but really, really, it's got the blues down. Hopefully, we'll get a hold of him. We'd love to have him on the show. And then I got to tell you about this band I discovered. This guy is a hustler, man. His name is O-Ray, and his band, the O-Ray Band. They're going to be playing at the Hubcap Bar and Grill in Santa Fe, Texas. Then we have Machine Head, In Flame, and then Lacuna Coil, pretty famous band, been around for a while, and Unearthed at House of Blues this Friday. Saturday we have Beetle at the the Continental Club there on Main Street. Saturday, a really good cover band called FM Radio. Pretty good guys. You probably know those guys or have heard of them. But, yeah, they're a really, really good cover band. They're going to be over here at Backwoods Saloon just outside of here in Conroe. And then Saturday, New Metal Night for it's going to be over at Scout Bar. And then Brent Anderson Band at the world-famous Big Easy Blues Bar. Saturday morning. My bad. I just ended up sponsoring a breakfast concert series starting last week, and it's a huge success. There's a built-in crowd, but every Saturday and Sunday from here until May the 10th over at Just Love Coffee off of Fairmont. I have my breakfast concert series with Tony Vila, 550, Randy Bailey, Jessica Bailey and the boys. It's John and James. Have the O-Ray band. They're all doing an acoustic set there. The food is absolutely amazing. And then Sunday we have Spare Time Murray at Honeymakers at Emmett's Place. So that's it for local shows. Whew, that was a whole lot, man. I'm out of breath now. But here we are with Vetted, this amazing band. We have Slade and Paul in the studio. Slade is the guitar player. Paul is the drummer. He had a little gravity check. His leg is jacked up a little bit. Not a full broken, just your...
Oh, it's broken. I broke the right fibula.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fracture, but, But
I broke it.
It's fractured.
It's
I mean,
all the way. Right.
Fractured all the way.
Ow. So...
no cast, too.
How long, real quick, how long has the band been around before we get... Because we've got about 3 songs to play, and then we're going to get to the interview and just talk about this amazing all-veteran band.
So I started this project actually started under a different name in 2010. And then after a couple years of that, then I ended up changing the name to Vetted. And that was we call this the third iteration of what I'm doing.
Right.
But under Vetted, this is the second iteration.
I really like that. That's clever.
Which Slade is now the second part of the second iteration. And I've actually known him a lot longer. I tried to poach him a long time ago, but he was always like, "Oh, I'm busy." So I had to finally talk them into it, and there we are,
Right.
But sometimes timing is everything, right?
And also too with him, it's a consistent persistency. People cut me checks just to shut up, but he's such a nice guy, and he's all the self-humility, and he's talented, and got a bunch of stuff to talk about. This guy.
We don't want to give him a bigger head than he already has.
No, he doesn't.
But,
I know.
I mean, that's why it's green.
I know.
So yeah, we started this 2010. And I guess a couple of years later, the funny thing is it took off from the get-go. Like as soon as I started promoting it, because I used to promote things a long time ago, and in fact, I've cross-promoted a lot of things that you probably even know about from way back in the 90s. And so I just started doing that again after I got retired from the military in 2009.
Sure.
And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And then Channel 26 picked this up, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, everything just kind of went 100 miles an hour. I ended up on national television. Netflix did a documentary on me with the band. And just kind of like, I just couldn't breathe, man. It's like 100 miles an hour,
well, it took
solid.
off.
And then what's really great is
it's everything you wanted to happen.
And it really did in a sense too. And, like anything else, some people can hang on, some people can't.
Right.
And I guess the guys that were with me in the band, they kind of ran their course. Right. And they're like, you know what, I could start something else. So I put the feelers out. Yeah. And then like same thing happened again. As soon as I started Vetted, everything took off again. And then we ended up 8 years on tour. I mean, solid.
And band members come and go. That's just life.
Yeah.
But the biggest to the smallest, it falls under the category, shit happens. You
Yeah.
move on. Hopefully you still be friends and get stuff.
Yeah, I still talk to a lot of the guys.
But I will tell you one thing, man. The band Vetted and you, because I know him a little bit. I know of you. I've known of you a long time. I've only known you for a little over 3 years since the bands that don't suck kind of thing. You helped me out with that.
Yeah.
So,
right.
But this guy here, he truly is military grade, and
that's
he's one of my
there's no doubt.
sponsors.
Yeah.
I can't praise him. I basically tell people, like, he's like Miyagi. If he's willing to help me and work a deal and be my sponsor, I'm all about it. Because this guy, everything is on a whole nother level. The music, the integrity, the way he talks. Never heard him say one bad thing about anybody.
That you heard of.
He's funny. That he's heard of. That's right. I've only known him for
I
just
definitely
3
try
years.
not to.
I know about the skeletons later. That's on another talk show. But tell us. So let's go ahead and get this jamming up before we get to the interview and the meat of it all. Because
let me tell you something real quick before you do that. So
no problem.
Whenever we started this thing, I started it for a purpose, and the purpose is why we're here. So we do suicide prevention, PTSD awareness, and that's one of our main focuses on what the band is even existing for.
Committing suicide, ridiculous.
So we started going to military bases from day one. Like that's the first thing I wanted to do is go to the military base and start performing on military bases. That's when the height of the war. So we had a lot of wounded guys showing up in all these bases, and I was one of those guys that came from those. I know that, and when I got wounded in combat and then I got retired, I knew that there needed to be some more to get like morale support. So moral, that's what we needed. We needed some morale, support. So what we did is we went down to the first base we went to was Fort Polk, Louisiana. And I can remember this to this day. We had these guys rolled up, some on wheelchairs, some with bandages still on them. and they're watching us perform, and it just at that point I knew I'm going to do this. This is all I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so suicide prevention, PTSD awareness is our main focus. And we provide resources for our veterans and active duty servicemen and women to have just in case they need something outside of that.
That's really a great idea, because I am almost finished with an idea that I presented to him. I'm not going to go into details, but I've been wanting to basically put on this really, really incredible military music festival, and I've got it mapped out. I know how I need to make it happen. Unfortunately, it's all about that budget, because everybody's.
It's been tried multiple times, man.
Yeah, but
we got to have someone. I think if anybody can do it, it'd be Houston.
well, and not just Houston, but if I can get in front of Pete or any of Donald's people, it'll get done. All I have to do is meet them, and trust me, some people have more of a purpose to live than others. Me,
we're kind of in that position right now at this point. Yeah,
right.
We'll talk about that further, but
sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, I made some inroads onto that thing that we were talking about. So I think it's going to happen, because I know right now the way I've got it set up is because of the military. Like I said, I wasn't in it, but people don't really get the freedom isn't free, and then the sacrifices that you guys make just blows my mind. Like, I mean, I always had that tunnel rat mentality, if you know what a tunnel rat is.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so, but I would have been a horrible tunnel rat because I'm not a little dude. I'd have been shot in 5 seconds. It's for the little bad. Do y'all know the story about Audie Murphy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, it's drilled in our heads in the military. So.
Right. So anyway, enough about that. But I'm dying to work with you guys, because I think Vetted, along with some other bands and the way I'm putting this thing together, y'all would be absolutely perfect for it. Amazing. And everybody can get paid, because it's going to happen.
And I will say this though, and just to put that out there, like I think all the heroes that people call people, people we get out, you get called a hero a lot. All the heroes that I know of are International Cemetery, and and those are the heroes.
Yeah.
Because they gave their life for a purpose that they believed in.
Heroes forever.
Yeah.
No matter whether they'll always be here in spirit, and it just blows me away when I think back and I see the way that the troops are treated during the Korean and especially the Vietnam War. And now it's like a fashionable thing to help out the troops. Anybody tells me any different, they're full of shit. Everybody is jumping on the bandwagon. I can name a dozen organizations.
Which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, it's phenomenal, office,
Yeah.
but I don't, I'm almost sure that, I don't know, like I know with the United Way, because you're a nonprofit and because I've worked with so many 501c3s like Texas Children's Hospital and
Yeah.
United Way, it doesn't mean you don't make a profit, And
you got to pay your people.
No, absolutely, but I'm sure there's nonprofit. Do you know who the largest nonprofit is?
Yeah. I bet I can answer that, but go ahead.
I can tell you.
The government.
The government.
You're close. It's the Catholic religion.
Yeah,
the
it
Pope.
is. I was about to say
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's the empire.
It's a church.
So yeah, have faith, y'all. But anyway, we are here with Vetted, this amazing band, and I believe in this situation with the band, you're the lead singer
Yes.
And guitar player.
and guitar player. Yeah, just a really, really great musician, great guy. Tell us a little bit about the first song. We're going to do 3, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to get with the interview. More of the interview.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah. So the first song is called "Hold On to Life," and that one is about suicide prevention. It's about being on the edge, and don't let go, and being able to reach out to someone, to talk to someone, especially when you get into that situation. So that's what that song is about, and it went through a bunch of I guess revisions to kind of get to the spot where it's at. Yeah. Just,
I mean, it's about the person that's telling. Look at it from a third person perspective, right? So, like you said, don't let go, right? It's someone telling you that. It's actually someone. If you listen to the song, it's someone telling that other person that's on the edge, that's literally about to, like, we consider that jumping, if you want. That, hey man, there's a better way of doing this. Don't do it.
You get all the way to the edge.
Yeah, and that's what that song. The singer is literally telling that guy that.
I love that because the better way. It always reminds me of Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Highly Effective Habits of Successful People. The most dopest quote: "It's not my way. It's not your way. It's a higher way, a better way." And if you get any of that, Stephen Covey was just next level stuff. But this is amazing. This song, when he sent it over to me, I was like, "Who's the singer?" "Oh, it's me." I'm like, it was really the first time.
Funny story though.
that I knew he could sing and he didn't suck. And I was like,
we didn't know he could sing.
"Oh,
We found that out later.
I bet."
When we were looking for a singer. And then this dude's like, "Oh, I'm like, what?
And
you
I
can
play
sing?
a little guitar. Oh, and I can help you out with a little bit of the band promo stuff. Just
man.
a little bit. That's all. Just a little bit.
I'm still
No,
working on it.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, but guys, you were in for a treat. This is an amazing song, and wow, vetted.
Well, you've been struck down, waiting to be found, and you become your own worst enemy. Well, it's been hard times. I swear you lost your mind, and now there's just room for you to breathe. Hold on to life, hold on to me, hold on to everything you can be. You're on the edge, don't let go. Well, you're defeated, there's no one left to blame. I can't believe you let it slip away. Well, no more feelings. You lost your will and faith, but you can make it through another day. Hold on to life, hold on to me, hold on to everything you can be. You're on the edge, don't let go. Hold on to life, hold on to me, hold on to everything you can be. You're on the edge, don't let go. For no one's gonna realize, screaming on the inside, screaming on the inside. For no one's gonna realize, screaming on the inside, screaming on the
Wow, vetted. Who knew
Thank
this
you.
guy could sing the way he does?
That's AI. That wasn't him. That wasn't him.
Yeah, I'm getting
We
better.
just
and
telling
better.
people he could sing, and then he just kind of like blah 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 blah.
It
Right?
just shows up, gets
Yeah.
a check.
It's a backing track. It's not even him. Nah, seriously though, I mean, we didn't know he could sing. Like, and then we found out, and my manager's like, "Are you kidding me? You never told me." We like,
Right,
you never
you're
said
fired,
anything.
you
It's
know,
like, almost like
but-
we didn't ask, so we didn't say nothing.
I think we're in. I think we're actually in the hotel room.
and he was
rehearsing
singing. Yeah,
for-
that was it.
and we have another friend that's a singer.
Patrick Stone.
Yeah, and he.
Did you have a 12 or
and he,
acoustic or
and
something?
he was singing, and I think I was singing a song or something. And I
Yeah.
started singing in the hotel room, and my manager was like,
Yeah. Then later on, he's like, "You didn't tell her you could sing." And we're like, "Well, you didn't ask."
You didn't know.
So I was like,
Accidentally on purpose.
"Yeah."
I'm a work in progress. Always a
Yeah.
work in progress.
Well, good thing is now he's not picking up the bad habits. that
Brother, what
normal
are you
singers
talking
have,
about,
so.
dude? You're always evolving, man. I mean, like you evolve faster than the technology, and
He's
like
always
every 6 months. It's like every
He's
quarter.
always shedding. He's always shedding
Yeah,
like
he
a
is,
layer,
he
you
is.
know.
Snake tarantula.
Yeah.
He's just, you know.
Have to keep getting better. It's just really, me.
He goes to the
me against
cocoon
myself.
phase. I don't hear from him. Then a couple of days later, like, wow.
That's why I love attaching my star to him, because he's such a total badass, and I have no problem telling the whole world that, because
I appreciate
it's the God's truth, and he's got a certain amount of honor and integrity that I'm not used to, not in the music scene.
I mean, well, I think the Marine Corps had a lot to do with that too.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt about that.
It really whipped me
Yeah,
in the shape.
he told me the story about that. You know, he's like, he's walked in there and said, "There's something different about these guys."
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah,
You know,
everything.
it's interesting too, because when I went in the military, I was living under a bridge before I went in, and I was in a gang most of my life. You know, and I did music most of that time. And right before I stopped doing music, I was living in Francisco Studios. I was actually there when they built it.
Did you live across from Martin, the other drummer?
As you walk in the back door,
He was my drummer in
I was-
Voodoo Heads.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Martin!
yeah, Martin.
So
Oh my God, is he still around? Oh my God, I'm tripping out. I ain't seen him.
So when you walk in the back of the building, like my room was right there.
Oh
So
my God,
and
I
I
didn't-
was, but the third and fourth floor weren't even built yet.
Right.
They were finishing right.
Right,
So I was
right,
security.
right.
I used to live there.
Okay.
And that's what kept me there. And then one day, all my stuff got stolen. All my drums, everything got stolen, and I couldn't do no shows. So it's like that kind of slippery slope.
Right.
And then I moved out, and then I was homeless, and I ended up living under a bridge. And I was like, you know what, I got to do something. So I ended up joining the military.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here right
Mm-hmm.
now talking to you, obviously. But I think that just like him,
That's
man,
pretty badass.
it changes your life to where it teaches you how to be
A
more
better person?
Well, it teaches you more like
bunch
the
of stuff.
responsibilities that you need to take care of, like, especially with the band. That's what the band functions so well, because everybody's prime military in the band, and we know how to make things happen really quick and efficiently.
Like a Japanese bullet train. So
Like, yeah.
you guys reminded me of Francisco's, my buddy, and last year's drummer of the year. I don't know if you guys know Joseph Newmoons. He's like full Apache Navajo Indian. He plays in like 7-8 bands, whatever. He had to quit playing for Acoustic Halo, my band, because he's just way too busy. But he runs Francisco's place. If anybody knows Francisco, he's a multi-gillionaire, like many times over, and he runs the 290. The drummer does. He runs the whole thing, lives there on site.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a great setup over there. Joseph Newmoons, way to go, buddy.
Well, I was
Doesn't
I
suck
was
you
there
in.
when they first started building that. The second floor was in the middle of finishing up.
Right.
The third and fourth wasn't even done yet.
Some wild
that tells you how
stories
far
over
back.
there.
I'm going to tell you a wild story. I was there when that wild stories happened.
Right.
Everything from people getting shot in the parking lot
The
to
dead bodies in the basement.
all that stuff. I was there,
Oh,
bro.
no.
But when it was full to water, and I was just that's when Basilisk was there. That's
Right.
when you had like so many
Well,
good
do you know what?
bands.
You were friends. They were from the Ordinary, and I know you know Larry Lozano.
I know exactly.
He played in
what
a
I'm talking
band that almost made it, but they got into a famous fight with Pantera.
about. Pantera. I was down at the Axiom,
And
yeah.
he was in a band called Fortress. You know my buddy Guy Lehman? He's a next level songwriter,
yeah.
musical genius. He'll be the first one to tell you. Love you, Guy, but you know it's all good. Tell us a little bit about this second song.
So the second song is called "Good Die Young," and so we are working with Neil, and he's a drummer in 3 Days Grace. We get to meet 3 Days Grace, and so we had these songs that they were writing. I guess it wasn't making a cut. They were just kind of demos, and they were really just like a verse and a chorus.
He probably had like 20 songs on his laptop. Like I was with him in Canada, and he's like, "Hey, check out these songs." And I started running through them. He goes, and I said, "Hey, you know what? I like that one." He goes, "You know what? If you want to use it, go ahead." So he gave me 3, and that's I presented him the slate, and we're like, "Let's
like,
do
yeah.
it. Let's just take it." So he's been waiting to see what we're doing with it, and he's been generous enough to like just kind of stay back in the shadows until we're ready to present it.
Right.
And this is you're getting the first look at what we've done so far.
Exclusive.
This is literally
Yeah.
the exclusive. No one's heard this yet.
Lone Star, guys. You guys are in for
No
a
one has heard
treat.
this at all.
And actually, the songs and the lyrics
Yeah.
fit everything that we're doing as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But when we first got the songs, there's just kind of some keyboard, organ kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of started writing the whole
Humpty
the whole
Dumpty,
song out, yeah.
piecing it together.
So we have this one recorded. It's pretty much done. Maybe a few more tweaks, and then we have another one called "Kill the Silence," which we record it. We have to get into the mix, and then I have to lay vocals onto it. But so this one's called "Good Die Young."
Yeah,
You know,
and
and
we
when
only
you-
got 30 seconds of a minute and a half. That song.
And real quick, once you guys release the full length, whenever later on in the year, if it's a Christmas star or whatever, we definitely want to have you on there and set it up to where we do the Thursday and you have that show Friday or Saturday to
Yeah, we're planning something now. We'll keep you in a loop on what we're doing.
please,
So, yeah,
please.
we got some stuff going.
Anything.
Yeah, I think it's
All
sounded-
about
sounded pretty good
vetted.
so far.
What's the name of the song again? One more time.
It's called Good Die Young.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, they sure do. I'm gonna probably be around for a while, so I'm pretty good.
Let's check it out.
Let me make my introduction. I'm the writing on the wall. I'm the sum of my corruption, the path of self-destruction, tearing through us all. I'm like a wrecking ball, and if the good die young, and if the good die young, guess I'm gonna live, guess I'm gonna live forever. Yes, I'm gonna be the last to go. Yes, I'm gonna live, guess I'm gonna live forever. If the good die young, if the good die young, if the good die young. In the shadows of deception, I'm the whisper in the hall. I'm the essence of correction, guided by redemption, bridges of resolve. I rise above it all, and if the good die young, and if the good die young, guess I'm gonna live, guess I'm gonna live forever. Yes, I'm gonna be the last to go. Yes, I'm gonna live forever. If the good die young, if the good die young, if the good die young.
I'm the echo of the silence, the whisper in the night. In the gay, I find solace in shadows I ignite. The catalyst to the habit, the truth you can't ignore. And if the good die young, the wicked will endure. I'm the rebel in the system, the thorn in their control. In the madness, I find wisdom, defiance I can soul. I'm the chaos and they're gone. This dawn before the dawn. And if the good die young, I'll be standing here when they're gone.
Guess I'm gonna live, guess I'm gonna live forever. Yes, I'm gonna be the last to go. Yes, I'm gonna live forever. If the good die young, if the good die young, and if the good die young. Yes, I'm gonna live forever. Yes, I'm gonna be the last to go. Yes, I'm gonna live forever. If the good die young, if the good die young, and if the good die young.
Yeah, I like that. Ding.
There's a part at the end of that song where
I
hit
love
the
it.
bell. So the bell is just like I was just messing around.
Right.
I guess we just left it in the song.
Yeah, we edited
More
it-
cowbell.
Yeah, we edited and moved it in and got the right timing right
Really?
in.
That was
It
trippy
was
sounding.
it was kind of after it ended. You hit
Yeah,
it.
I waited a little while, then I
Right,
hit it.
right.
I guess
So,
I brought it
yeah,
in.
so we
Yeah.
moved it all the way in. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I just left it in. Yeah, that's a loud bell, man.
Yeah.
That bell can run for like a good 15, 20 seconds after you hit
Yeah.
it.
Right.
It'll be zzz for the longest time.
Hang that note.
Yeah.
And that song was really cool because we only got like a minute of it.
Right.
And we had to build the rest of it from that minute.
Oh, wow.
He didn't get all those songs that he gave us. He only gave us one complete song.
Right.
And all the rest of it was all like in
Pieces.
chunks. Yeah. He's like, hey,
Like
man.
a jigsaw
it was
puzzle.
an idea. It was an idea that him and who was singing on that, the original?
Matt.
It was Matt, right? So Matt was singing on the original. So that was just him and Matt sitting in the room doing some ideas. Some of the other songs I heard, I
Yeah.
mean, I was like, damn, I probably could have took those two, but I just needed 3 is good enough. But we have another one
this
called
will start-
Parachute that's really going to be a
Yeah.
challenge. So
Yeah, I got to work on that vocally. That one's pretty tough to mimic that.
Parachute?
I got to get into.
yeah, it's called Parachute.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's about basically having that parachute that someone's there for you all the time.
All right, can I make
And-
a suggestion?
Yeah.
Paratrooper. No.
Yeah, so it's just basically about that, like
Right.
someone being there for you all the time. They become your parachute,
Sure.
and then when they're not there for you, and it's like
You're falling.
Yeah,
already.
falling, yeah.
You've already jumped.
it's a good song, man. He just
Oh
vocally,
shit!
he's
My
gotta work on
safety
it.
chute didn't work.
Yeah, and I'm a paratrooper, so that kind of tells you that. It's a good song. But yeah, we're really kind of ramping up, and we got a lot of new songs. We're working on one currently
We got to.
called Ledge.
Yeah, Ledge.
Yeah, and that's
Not
the one I
Afraid.
wrote, and then he's got one that he's been working on a little bit. So we got pretty much a full album.
No,
that
I
we
ain't,
have
I ain't
ready.
gonna lie to you, man. I feel kind of special sometimes because Slade has been enough to pull me into the family, and he'll give me a little. Don't share it with nobody. Is it okay if my old lady check? Yeah, she can check it, but that's it.
Talking about his photos, or are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
No, both actually. No,
Sexy
no,
photo.
but
Don't tell nobody, but I just want your opinion.
say nothing,
Does it lean to the left a little
well,
bit?
you know we're swingers, man. You know what's up now. No, we just and I dig that, that he trusts me enough that because I don't, like I said, I used to write for Music News and bands. He'll write if he thinks you suck. Well, why? That'd be a hypocrite, I give props to where they're due. I don't play that. Try to your best, buddy, and you already know how I feel about the word friendship. I've told him for a long time ago, if you're not willing to help me bury a body, you're just a basic friend. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Hal,
I'm just totally kidding.
I've known you in passing since the '90s, so
You have.
Yeah.
You really have, dude. I mean,
We've been in this business a long time.
I used to see you in Music News Magazine before I used to write for Music News Magazine. I'm
See,
trying to
it's
think
crazy,
of the.
man.
Yeah, I've been in a few times. Yeah. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome, actually.
it's been. I mean, what's funny is that I got a lot of copies of stuff that I've been in, and some of the things that I've kept, which is Music News. I kept a few of those,
Yeah.
and the Chronicle and all those things. I kept all
Anything
those.
I
from way
used to
back
do,
when.
well, my laid claim in the early 90s and at the end of 94, 95 is I put together $20,000 in cash and prizes. And after I broke that guy's nose, the first thing I did was a thing called the Guitar Master Series. And that's when I knew I did voice stuff. Because when they tried to charge me at the radio station, the old Z-Rock, satellite
Oh,
radio,
Z-Rock. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ward Cleaver Beaver, the famous most rock DJ. All you
Yep.
had to do is pay him his money and have a big old half gallon
Different
of,
times.
of
Yeah.
Ghost
Jack.
Lager, but they were
Was it
no,
Ghost
it was
Lager?
Ghost Lagers. It
Was it
was
Ghost
this thing.
Lager?
No, I remember that stuff.
No, my bad. Not
Okay.
Ghost Lagers. The dark stuff. Jägermeister.
Jägermeister.
I remember that
Cold.
too.
He
Yeah.
used to have it ice cold. And
Has to be
He was, but it was ABC satellite radio. A lot of people didn't know that with Z-Rock, but he would come in and
He'd be
so
at
I-
Axiom all the time.
Yeah, so I did the Guitar Master series. I put this together, and that's when the owner of the club said, "You can do this." I said, "Yeah, if you give me the prize money, I'll put it together." And that's when I got into the music business. Instead of bouncing at the door and cutting yards, he cut me a check for $10,000, and then people started getting mad at me and went, "Quit messing with Alex is a necessary evil." Put a big old sign on the door, said I was a necessary evil, and I was like, I wish I had it because it's like a badge of honor.
Keep that.
But
It's like
no,
what-
because people were messing with me because I went from doorman to
So
being
did that go
running
next to
all
the sign that says "Don't do coke in the bathroom"?
No, none at all.
Okay.
Oh God. Well, tell us a little bit about this. Is going to be the last song. Then we're going to take a small break, and then we're going to
Yeah. This is
a demo, right?
More.
Yeah. So this is one I recorded at my studio. So what we're doing is, like with Good Die Young, we're actually recording at San Jack College. They're
Which is
big-
really cool,
Yeah, they're a
yeah.
big supporter of veterans. So we have, we're working with them to record all these songs. So I'm recording at my studio, at my home studio. Then we'll take that and we have all the tracks, and then we'll just start recutting everything. So this one is like a little bit more of a Kid Rock kind of vibe.
Oh, that's right. It's the Kid Rock song.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on it, but you're gonna get a chance to see what the raw version
No,
is.
there's
and
no
what we're-
doubt that if Kid heard it, he'd go, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah, I
man?
think it
Y'all
sounds
need to,
pretty
y'all need
cool.
to back
You
up
know,
off this.
Yeah, we'll recut it. I'll redo vocals and make it a little bigger and all that stuff. But
I think Kid Rock would like it, and
yeah.
he would
It's
invite
catchy.
y'all to the White House.
We just want you to have a piece of what we're kind of doing before we do it.
It's a fun song. Got a killer riff. I got about 30 seconds of it earlier this morning. You guys are.
I started writing this thing, and I was like, right whenever Donald Trump got shot, so I was like, I gotta write
Yeah,
something cool.
yeah.
And then I sent it over to him. He's like, yeah, we gotta do this.
That's it.
So that's kind of what we did.
Yeah.
You know,
You
He's very
guys,
patriotic.
You guys are in for a treat.
no politics, but this is straight like music. Aside
Yeah.
from everything, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Vetted.
Our rock anthem.
but they all miss. I stand tall in defiance, can't resist. Fist pumping in the air, feeling free. I won't back down, this is my decree. Let your voice be heard, let your vote count. We won't be silenced, we'll mount. Well, this is our rock anthem, the sound of freedom's bell. You can't kill my spirit, can't drag me to hell. I'm alive and fighting, I won't give in. This is our rock anthem, let the victory begin. They tried to break us, try to tear us apart, but we're standing strong. We have lion hearts. We won't be swayed, we won't be still. Our voices rise and we're climbing the hill. Fist pumping in the air, feeling free. I won't back down, this is my decree. Let your voice be heard, let your vote count. We won't be silenced, we'll mount. Well, this is our rock anthem, the sound of freedom's bell. You can't kill my spirit, can't drag me to hell. I'm alive and fighting, I won't give in. This is our rock anthem, let the victory begin.
They tried to break us, tried to tear us apart, but we're standing strong. We have lion hearts. We won't be swayed, we won't be still. Our voices rise and we're climbing the hill.
They thought they had us down, but we rose up. United we stand, no one can corrupt. Our strength is in our unity and our voice. We're here to make a stand, we made our choice. Well, this is our rock anthem, the sound of freedom's bell. You can't kill my spirit, can't drag me to hell. I'm alive and fighting, I won't give in. This is our rock anthem, let the victory begin. Fist pumping in the air, feeling free. Well, this is our rock anthem. Fist pumping in the air, feeling free. Well, this is our rock anthem. Fist pumping in the air, feeling free. Well, this is our rock anthem.
Bad ass. That guitar riff, I'm telling you, Kid Rock would probably try to, like, this could be my comeback
So that's
to the other
that's a
side.
total demo. Like you can imagine what we're gonna do with it when it's all finished. So
Jesus.
yeah. So that's something we're still
Don't mess
kinda-
with it too much because it's pretty badass.
Yeah, and then I that drums, I haven't even done all the drums on it yet. So
Crazy, man. Syncopated, tight.
yeah, it's gonna look cool, man. I mean, when I wrote the song, I wrote the lyrics, which was really neat. Is like that first portion of the lyrics when you hear in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what I started out as because
Yeah.
I have a thing like I have these two mirrors in my bathroom and I have dry erase markers laying around.
I bet you got mirrors
And
all over
I'll,
your house.
I'll write, dude. I got them everywhere
On the ceiling.
So I'll use a dry erase marker and I'll put all my lyrics that I come up with on the mirrors because that way when I go in the bathroom I'll look. I'll say And I so
Doing
many
your
lyrics
best
that way.
thinking. I know, man. That's from my photo of my office.
Dude,
right there.
seriously, that is literally what it is.
I'm telling
Shower
you.
or taking,
Or you take your phone,
Yeah.
just kind of get some things done.
I did that before, but you know what? When I have it on the mirror, it makes me want to go finish the song.
Yeah, because you see
okay.
it.
Yeah, 'cause I'm always looking at
Visual.
it, and I want to erase it afterwards. So I want to keep it. So I do the song, and I
Right.
wrote a lot of my songs that way.
Right.
And I wrote that first part of those lyrics. They just came out of nowhere, and I
Right.
just put that chunk there. I was like, all right, I'm going to come up with some more stuff later.
Right.
And then it just started coming a piece at a time. The next thing you know, the whole song's there, and the chorus is actually the part that I wrote first, and then I wrote the beginning of that song. It's really cool, man. So,
When can people see Vetted next?
that good
in
question?
Houston?
Actually. Well, broken leg kind of.
Yeah, Paul broke his leg. And then this year has been kind of crazy because right before NAMM, I got sick.
Yep.
COVID,
I got
bronchitis.
Oh my God!
And
I got
pneumonia.
bronchitis.
You know what? I think I know when your next show is going to be the Texas Songwriter Alliance presents Vetted Veterans That Rock. I don't know.
I
You
guess
could do
once
it.
we get healed up. But right now we'll just keep working on songs. to
That's
get them-
awesome.
Well,
man.
so right now, and I'll tell you guys this right now that we're currently, we don't know when, but we do know we are going to be returning back to Kelly Clarkson's show to perform. We would be doing that soon, and then we have some other ones that are going to be lined up that we're currently under, under our radar right now. And we also have, and I was explaining to you earlier, I have a meeting that's coming up pretty soon with some higher ups in the food chain with the Pentagon.
I know you're about to do some stuff.
And we're working on some pretty big situations that we're trying to work on. But here's the best part about it: it's all for the end of the day. It's all for the same cause, and it's to help our veterans, to help our servicemen and women get the resources they require for them, because our suicide rate's way too high, and we need to try to help reduce that.
And that's
so.
another way to attach myself to some amazing cause, just like all the other causes that I get behind. Texas Children's, the United Way, Omega House, the AIDS Foundation, Ronald McDonald House, are just some of the people I've worked with over the years. But I'm doing something a little selfish, but I have to, after hearing all this and having you here, not putting you on the spot or anything, but I am renting out. I'm producing a very one-of-a-kind event, and it's far enough to where I'd love you guys to play. There's a possibility you guys could possibly even headline, unless I get another headliner, and then y'all could open up for that headliner. But I am renting out the Pasadena Rodeo Grounds. It's costing me $15,000 October 4th and 5th for the first ever Pass It Get Down Dina Music Festival.
Yeah.
And I've already put
If
money
we're
down.
available, obviously, we'll
Well,
definitely
like
put you
that's
on the radar.
why I'm telling you now. So, but yeah, if you guys are cool, like I said. But yeah.
Because you're locally with us, and it's not gonna. Like I tell a lot of people that want to hire us, and I do have to explain to them that, number one, we're a nonprofit, so we don't do this for free, because we got to raise money too, and unfortunately we can't do it for free.
Well, like I said, nonprofits don't mean you're not making the Catholic religion.
And we get asked a lot to do a lot of shows all over the country,
Sure.
and they expect us to
Well,
do it for next to
like
nothing.
I said, if you guys are able to, it'd be cool.
Well,
But
no,
like
the
I
reason
said,
why I'm explaining that's because if we do something locally, a lot of times we can just do it. We just do it, and it doesn't cost us anything, except for gas and getting there, right?
Well, and
You
I'll
know-
feed you guys, and you get you
Yeah.
on my show. And do
But
whatever.
when we do it
But
outside
oh
of
my
our
God.
outside of our city, it starts getting expensive, because it's expensive to tour.
Sure.
And it costs us an enormous amount of money to do on the road. So, we try to be as accommodating as possible with people that want to hire us. And we're like, okay, maybe we'll squeeze it in while we're on tour. Maybe we'll squeeze it in,
and thank God y'all don't want to be up on stage rocking out, and it's so
I know, right?
Yeah, like y'all wouldn't pay to play because y'all love what y'all do so much. But it sounds cool. But no, I know the cost of production is incredible, but it would be an honor to have you guys in there,
yeah. If we can do it,
especially
we'll do it.
since I'm gonna I can't let the vets in for free, but they can all get in for half price. It costs a lot of money. Freedom isn't free. Promotion, everybody's got to get paid.
Freedom ain't free, but the door charge is.
Right. but yeah, October 4th for the Pasadena Pass It Get Down Dina Music Festival, October 4th and 5th. And as I'm putting it all together and stuff, I was there. There's a possibility that one of the car dealerships might give me a vehicle to give away. But I was trying to explain it to them. They write a check to the insurance company. It ain't out of their pocket except what they pay for the insurance. All these dealerships are multi-million. So I'm not getting anything. I'm presenting it and letting people drive, because both of those dealerships I went in, we're still in a little bit of whatever the economy is for some people or whatever.
Yeah.
But, they do the same thing. How many footballs in it? How many tennis balls? Which key is going to start it up? And then we have it there roped off at the festival. And then, like, right before you guys play or something like that, we can let the key that starts it up or something like that.
Now, I will say this, though, which is great about doing stuff like that you're doing when you I tell people this all the time, and I did a big panel on it in South by Southwest, and about sponsorships and endorsements, right? So one of the things about sponsors that people got to understand, and this is something that very well when you're putting together events. The sponsors are there's two different things that happen. One, they give you the money so you can actually do the event.
Mm-hmm.
You got to spend money to make money, right? So that money goes toward building the event, and then the sponsors get what we call the exposure. But in this case, it's actually more than just that. It's their marketing toward a demographic, which is like 18 to 35, whatever the amount the demographic is for your event, right?
Yeah.
That's the target audience that they have to pay way more than that to get normally. And you're bringing them all in one spot.
Oh, yeah.
So that way now people understand when you're asking for sponsors, it's not just to put line in your pockets, it's to make sure the event goes off.
No, it has to underwrite. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to be
So-
happy,
and that's why you have to
and in
charge
my
at the door.
space. Yeah, and the thing is, I never charge even when I'm. I've only worked with two nationals. One was Jacko, and that was like forever
Love
ago.
those guys.
And it was a great show.
They're great to work with.
The only thing I didn't like the show is that that when these rock stars eat, and they don't whatever, there was like $1,500 worth of awesome food. I told me and my crew, I ain't gonna lie, I took that stuff home. I'm like,
yeah.
I hate to see waste, and I saw it the
our
worst with
ride is
Yngwie.
pretty good too.
That's awesome, man. But
Gotta get fed, man.
No, everybody
chicken.
does. But
No
like
chicken.
I said, y'all's affiliation with the military, I think, is an amazing thing. And like you were saying, the biggest thing that concerns me is the fact that they're taking their lives like 2 or 3 every day or something like that. It's like a crazy number.
Well, it was 22 a day for originally. Now they're saying it's between 18 to 17 per day, which, you know, I don't go by those numbers anyway because those numbers suck. You know, they don't track everything. But the
Right.
numbers are fairly close to what you would have think because that's the numbers they track.
Sure.
But we always say 20, we used to say 22 plus 1 because you have the active duty soldiers as well. They don't count those. They only count veterans. But we have active duty that they're
And those aren't even counting the people that are on the fence that are going, should I or
Yeah,
you know.
there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to suicide prevention, and I mean that's what we do. That's why we go to these bases so we can dispel all those rumors and all those
Yeah,
things that people
that's
hear
how I
about.
want to help them out too. And you know, and like I had people telling me, oh, you need to get a hold of the USO, and I said, no.
Well, we
this
work with
is-
the USO a lot, and they're
Sure.
great. They work with us. I mean, there's a lot of times we couldn't get on a base because of politics, and the USO got us on there. So they do a lot. In fact, we got to play on the USS Baton on for the first time. In fact,
Now, that's badass right
we're
there.
the 4th band in United States Navy history that's ever performed on a battleship.
Right.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know
We're
that.
the
is
4th
super
band.
cool.
You know who the bands are? Cher. You got Three Doors Down, Creed, and us.
You're in good
Well,
company.
We're in good
my
company.
friend.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool, right? And
Share, I'm real impressed.
So the
with you.
admiral that came up to us said, "You're the first band to ever perform on this ship in the 40 years this thing's been on the water." So we're like, it's like the great, and USO
that's
did
cool.
that for us.
I
So,
know.
and I got to give a shout out to Kimberly for taking care
Oh,
of
yeah,
us.
she's
man.
awesome.
She's awesome, man. She's great. She's up at the USO out there, and she was taking really good care of us.
Oh, she's got a great name.
and-
That's my Kimberly.
So,
Yeah, there you
and the best part about all this is that we're able to give us a platform to talk about the numbers and the suicide prevention. We also trained. I got these guys trained up on suicide prevention. They took courses.
Yep.
So they just got certified. I've been certified since 2009. I
I
certify
think
every
you
year.
were certified way before then.
Yeah,
So-
certifiably. They don't joke about that. I did go in the
No,
military.
no, that is awesome. And the way
So,
you guys,
yeah.
that's amazing that you got them all.
So we don't
to
just
buy
talk
on-
about it. We
no,
we,
you
we
are
train
about
and
it.
we do the things that
Right.
we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. That's why the government
Do,
allows
no
us to do what we
talk.
do. Yeah. So we do all these things because we don't have to. Obviously, we're a band at the end of the day. We could perform and go on stages, but we have a purpose behind
No,
us.
you're an entity. You're a brand.
You know, and
You're
we have a purpose behind us, and we're a 501c3 for a reason. Because I always tell people that it's the mission before the money, and because if you do the mission, the money will come. And
Sure.
also,
Sure.
it's nothing comes without sacrifice, and that's what's on our on
Phil-
all our logos and
philanthropic
everything. So,
economics. It's doing well and doing good at the same time.
You
It's
know-
a really great book. Y'all should read. It's done well by me.
I think
know.
there's a lot of different misconceptions on nonprofits and a lot of misconceptions of what suicide prevention is all about, and then as we're trying to help prevent that from being a more than what it is.
11 years nonprofit. This guy's here.
Mm-hmm.
He works his ass off. Dick Sisler, owner, general manager, sound
Get it, man.
engineer.
Get it right over there.
He supports local music
The man
show,
behind the man.
business show. I saw him. I was trying to put on this independent music festival here a little over a year ago, and I'm in downtown Conroe. This is how y'all are here now because of him. And he was at some venue, and I was just checking out, and he overheard me, and he gave me his card, and I go back over, and I'm thinking he's a band I can sign up to play one of my showcases, right? And I look down at my card, it's like Lone Star Community Radio, and I'm like, oh, hey man, how you doing? And then he brought me on and made me feel like a number 1 draft pick. And trust me, I've been such a thorn in his side, and he knows.
He was talking crap about you earlier,
Well, it's okay. Take a number.
but now that we're on here, I can talk about
it's
it.
all good. It's all good.
Sorry, man.
It's all good. Everybody does. My ears are ringing all the time, man. Trust me.
I'll throw
You're
you
not
under the
talking
bus,
about
bro.
me.
It's all
but,
good.
it's okay. You won't be the first, you know. But yeah,
We appreciate you bringing us on, though, and
No,
give us the
it's
opportunity
just-
to talk and talk about what we do. But
no, we're
you know.
my show is gonna support you on everything you do, anything, all of my resources, my little mobile stage, my axe throwing thing, whatever it takes for me to help vet it and you guys out.
And we want to
and
support
it's-
you guys as well. So if there's a way we could collaborate on doing a fundraiser where we could split the profits between the both of us and put it in both of our organizations, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll sit down.
We all
and-
got the same purpose. We're all trying to get the message
Right.
out of whatever it is that we're trying to
Right.
promote, you know, and I think that's important especially for radio nowadays. We don't get the chance to have the things that we want to say on certain radio stations because of
Right.
the politics. But I
So-
think this is great.
So, be sure to share when the show is over and all that good stuff. You already know what to do and stuff. But, man, we really do appreciate you guys being out here. And you sure we don't got another song? I think.
That's it.
That's it. Well, that we can share right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
the rest of them they're not ready yet.
Yeah. If you let all you hear, he'd have to kill everybody so you can't hear it.
Yeah.
But you can check us out at vetitband.org.
Yep.
And then we also have a page, I don't know if you know, but I put the resources page on the website too. So
Okay.
suicide prevention and awareness, and if you have an issue, there's resources on the page.
and we're building that a
Yeah,
little bit at a time too.
So let me get to my loaded questions that I usually ask the regular acts and
No.
stuff. And yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm doing
No.
it for sure. Let's
Maybe.
let's start with you, Paul. Who are some of your and no particular order, or it could be obviously you're a drummer, so let's hear it. Minus Jason, besides
Besides
John
Bonham?
Bonham. Yeah,
Well,
besides Bonham.
believe
We
it or not-
already know that's already up there, but
Believe it or not, he wasn't really one of my influences.
Oh wow,
I
that's
didn't-
hard to believe.
You know, this is the irony in the way the business works, right?
Right.
And you know this as
Sure.
well as anybody.
I
You've
do.
been around it long enough, right? And I'm sure he's been around enough to where you think some things come full circle, right? So I started playing drums when I was 9, 10 years old, and started getting really serious when I was like 14, 15. I started performing in bars I shouldn't even be in.
Oh, no.
And
I know
and so,
that.
So one of my influences was I played the Van Halen 1984 album,
Right.
and then I also did Dio, The Last in Line. And right, and I love that album, and I played the hell out of it.
Vivian Campbell,
So-
you kidding me? One of the best.
So once you fast forward, 2010, I was at a thing called Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp that I was given an opportunity to go to, and I was sitting in front of Vinny Appice, which is obviously the drummer for Dio and Black Sabbath, and I was in a room with them, his drum set and my drum set, and we started playing Drum Wars, and I was like sitting there thinking about it, like I'm playing with the guy that I emulated for so long,
Right.
with this album.
How surreal.
And we were good friends, man. He's a great guy, and every time I've ever shown up to because I got invited back to a camp as a guest, and
Yeah, he treats you like a friend.
So now we're like every time we show up to each other,
Right.
he goes, "Go in the room." So we'll go in the room and we'll do drum battles, and to see how much better I've gotten. Right?
Right.
He does these things that and so I'm doing these double bass things and all these things, and then I go to look up behind his drum set. He's got a single bass pedal, and he's matching all my double bass pedal stuff with one bass pedal. That's how good this guy is.
Yeah.
And then he does this little thing where he hits the drum and he puts his thumb and goes zzz, like that. To this day, I still can't do it. But he has this thing where he'll be playing in the middle of it, then he'll hit it real quick and go like that.
Right.
It just so seamlessly
Now
knows how to play.
you become one with your
The
instrument.
dude's like an amazing drummer and
Flesh
just a great
and
friend.
steel.
And him and his brother both. They
Carmen.
Carmen came to my when I did the South by Southwest panel. He comes walking in there and sits down. I look over there. I'm like, he says hi to me, but it's like it's the weirdest thing.
Right,
He's just all nonchalant, just comes hang
yeah,
out.
there's a lot of rock stars.
But
They're
he's such a
human.
great
They
guy.
bleed. They're just like regular people. They're just more well popular and have more zeros in there.
So all my influence, believe it or not, a lot of my influences I've met in person and become friends with over years because of what I do. I do concert photography, and I did it professionally for a long time. And then I started working with these bands directly. And then over time, I just started meeting all these guys. And of course, my dad was in the limousine business for 45 years, so he introduced me to a lot of people.
Well, I'm going to need you
So,
to
yeah.
give me some pointers because I've been really, really thinking about it over the years, especially because I get weird angles and
Yeah,
I know I'm a
I used to
good-
teach it too. So
yeah, because like I said, I'm able to get angles that, well, shorter photographers just can't get unless they use it, whatever. And I'm just, I mean,
know
like
what
I
you're
said,
doing.
I'm like 8 foot tall.
I
when
hate
go
people like
this.
you. I hate people like you in the pit because I'm looking up
You
like
can't
this
see
month,
anything.
this month.
I know.
But I tell you what, though, it's interesting because you asked about influences. And technically, I think all the drummers out there, there's so many drummers that are so good.
they
Female,
are.
male. I mean, they're just amazing drummers out there.
Lenny Kravitz drummer.
I'm gonna tell you what. When I saw this, and I think I sent him the video once. I saw this like 10-year-old
I saw a 5-year-old.
rolling on this drum set, and I'm like,
5.
dude, I quit, man.
No, there's one that's 5 years old and he can play with any drum in Houston.
I mean, and I'm like,
Period.
dude, that just tells you how remarkable the music has gotten over the years.
No, not just that. Now they come right out of the vagina
Yeah,
onto a
just right
drum
there.
set.
Boom.
Boom.
They start playing, right?
Son, triple rectifier.
I'm telling you.
Twins.
And then, of course, now drums are becoming more popular than they used to be, and I think it's
Well,
just
now you're getting rappers and hip hop artists now
That are
are playing in a band
Yeah.
situation, and boy, that just adds a whole nother level of energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my influence wise, I guess there's a lot of influences that are across the board. Everything from what we grew up with to even modern guys that are playing now. And I just, it blows me away, some of the styles and the way they. I grew up more in a
Who's
jazz.
that Toxicity? What's that band?
Tool?
No, the
Or-
other one.
System of the Down.
System of the Down.
That dude's a badass. Yeah.
Dude,
That dude's
he's a badass drummer. I don't know drumming, and do you know one of my favorite? Whenever I did my drum master series at Millennium '94, there was no doubt Craig LeMay was going to beat the dog shit out of everybody. The guy needs a stage on his own thing. I'll never forget him being all cheat up before the show and kept playing on his drum pad. Alex, what do you think? You think I'm going to win? I said, dude, you're one of the best drummers in the world, you know, and he, I'm trying to think of who was else in there. David Seymour from the She Demons and a few other guys that made it for me. But everybody was top notch. But dude, when that guy got behind there, do you remember he used to play in that semi-famous band called Cinema?
Yeah.
But the thing about him is that he always had to have a stage. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't my cup of tea.
It's just interesting.
I thought he was a dick. So,
It's interesting of all the drummers that I've met over the years. Only a handful have ever stuck out. Like as in like they're just not only are they super nice guys, they're willing to teach. Ray Lazier from Korn, for instance, he's always been a consummate professional with me. I got behind his drum set. He's showing me his drum set and all his cool stuff, and it's just really neat to have.
I also got to give a big shout out to one of my favorite drummers. We share a birthday, May the 2nd, and to me, absolutely the nicest drummer I've ever met in Houston by far. Austin Gartman of the band Mystic Cross and a few other original bands. I don't know if you've ever met Austin from Mystic Cross.
Well, I'm part of the Drummers of Houston forum, so we have like 2,000 plus people in our forum. So he's probably on there somewhere. We got some amazing drummers in our forum. And
Joel Fulgen.
Yeah, I mean, there's just
the human
so many
metronome, you know.
But
he had a stroke a while back.
That's what I'm talking about. You got drummers out there that are not famous, but they're amazing.
They're as good as anybody famous.
Good as anybody else, yeah.
Same as guitar players that sound just as tight. And
he's holding back a lot of times. I know his guy can wail on certain things. He just doesn't do it because
I play for the song.
He plays for the song to the music we're playing. But when we start messing around and starts pulling out some stuff, I'm like looking back like you've been hiding that the whole time. And,
don't make me hit the nitrous button.
And he's seen me pull out all my 90s, 80s drumming vibes that I pull out, my metal that I used to play back in the day.
Right.
I do that with PJ every so often, and he was like looking over there like, because I don't play that unless I need to. It's not necessary. I mean, I grew up with a blues, jazz, rock background, heavy metal. I did death metal for a while.
Right.
When I got blown up in Iraq and I had to learn how to play drums again, I started from jazz blues level. I didn't want to do metal anymore. I went straight to the basics.
Yeah.
And I learned jazz and I learned blues. And I'm gonna tell you what, if it wasn't for that reset,
you wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be sitting here, man, because I wouldn't know way I would have been able to play again.
Right.
And Todd Zuckerman from Styx, his Methods and Mechanics DVD has saved my butt, man, because I learned a lot from him. And then of course I know him now. He lives up in Austin. Good guy. So
wanted to ask you one more question, something that we do in our show and stuff, because without certain people in our lives, none of this happens. So real quick, tell us a few people that you want to give thanks to, and then I want to ask the same thing with Slade.
I mean, everybody that's ever supported me, down all the way down to my mom and my dad. We know they're no longer with me, and but yeah, I mean,
they'll always be with you.
My dad was a mariachi. He went and did that for a living to put put food on the table. So, and my grandfather had #1 hit back in the 50s. So.
You come from a long lineage of successful
musicians, man.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you what, though, of course, I got to give it to Slade for jumping in and helping this band catapult itself to the direction it needs to go. Because it takes someone else in the band, not just like me, I started it, but it takes someone else to help catapult it. And he has all the talent.
But
that
also,
we needed.
too, you've also got somebody who's like Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
he's
and
got
the
a particular set of skills.
He does. And the rest of the band, they committed to this project. And I got to give those guys, 100% of props and pat on the back because
John, and
PJ.
Kristen.
I mean, they don't have to do this. That's by choice, right?
No.
We don't have to do.
Y'all
what
are
we do.
y'all are a real true band of brothers.
Yeah, and this is what we put ourselves to do, and we're going to continue to do it. And I thank everybody, including all the fans, for supporting us for as long as I have. 15 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Slade, tell us a few people you're thankful for. I know you
I like
did the
to-
last
well,
show.
I-
Just real
I would
quick.
like to thank
We're
God.
wrapping up the show.
Well, I thank God for all the
glory.
the endless creativity that I have, because otherwise it just flows every single day nonstop. It's like my poison's my passion.
Yep.
I would like to thank my wife for putting up with me. The eclectic and
She is definitely putting up with them.
So when you
Trust
hear
me, I
this,
know.
when you hear this, honey, This is for you.
This is for you.
Of course, I like to thank my mom. She was my biggest fan ever. She's always like, Slade, you could just do it. Whatever you want to do, baby.
I'm good with
You
it.
could just do it. I'm
Even
like,
all,
"Thank
even
you."
all that weird stuff. Just
All
keep
the
on
weird
doing
stuff,
it.
yeah.
That's it. That's right. just keep it off the internet and stuff. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up, man. Thank you guys for so much.
Thank you.
I want to thank my girl, Kimberly, for always supporting me. Music News, J Lamb's Remy, Rock Rage Radio. Slade, real quick, I got to give you another extra shout out, dude, because he took care of all of my graphic artwork for my new venture, the United Axe Throwing Alliance. He's helping me out with my shows, doing stuff for me. Slade, I can't thank you enough. Vetted, you guys are awesome, Paul. Finally, good to finally
Yeah.
meet you and talk
Yeah.
more than, hey, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
And pass it this way or whatever the deal was, whatever back in the day. But you guys are amazing. Any way that we can help, Lone Star Community Radio and Audio Impact, we're here for you guys, okay? Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for everything too. Yeah. Engineer.
Absolutely. Good job.